Migration management.
And now on to technology. Medical 3D printing was once an ambitious dream. However, nowadays the 3D printing technology is used in diverse ways within the medical space. The technology can help in making specific drugs, production of medical implants, and help surgeons plan better. Here in Kenya, Stratus is helping doctors and surgeons plan procedures using 3D printed models. On this week's Tech Buzz, I will take you through that journey now. I'm Malika Kazia, bringing you another exciting episode of Tech Buzz, and today we're looking at the evolution of technology and medicine working together to make sure that lives are made better. Well, I'm at the Stratus Medical Imaging Solutions Center today. I'm going to be talking to a doctor who's going to explain to us how 3D printing is working to ensure that doctors are able to see exactly what they will find when they open the patient up. Now, Stratus has actually collaborated with Micrive, which is a medical 3D solutions printing startup, and we're going to find out more about how everything works. How is 3D printing playing a part in medicine? Let's find out. Stratus is a medical imaging solutions outpatient center where diagnostic imaging, lab work, pharmacy and specialist consultations are offered. I sought to speak to consultant radiologist Dr. Elijah Kwasa, who is an integral pillar of the center.
One of the things that we started doing as of early this year is integrating 3D printing with our diagnostic imaging to help better the outcomes of patients who primarily are involved in trauma and tumor cases, which have complex anatomy and require for a better view from the surgeon's perspective and also a better understanding from the patient's perspective and the relative's perspective as to what is going on with the patient.
CT scans are used to determine what is happening in the body, and then the scan is used to create a 3D printed model of the injured area. This, according to Dr. Kwasa, helps reduce theatre time and the chances of complications.
This is a child who unfortunately had an electric pole hit them while they were playing in their estate. And the images to the left are what we typically deal with, which is 2D or axial images of a scan. And you may not be aware, but these are fractures that really shouldn't be there. Now, to my eye, I see these things and I get worried. To some people, they may miss them. But then what we typically are able to do, the image on the right is a 3D reconstruction of the patient. And from this, it's able to show that there are some breaks in the skull that shouldn't be there. Now, to some people, that may make sense. To some people, they may still not be clear. But then we're able to print out this 3D structure. And this is a one-to-one representation of this patient. So where you see a break, the break is visible here, but more than that, with a 3D model, you can actually see a gap and measure the gap through which the bone shouldn't be. The next step in this is not just for the diagnostic added, like third eye view of it. It is actually to offer treatment solutions that are tailor-made to the patient in question. Be able to print something that will go in and you know we are printing this for you and it's only usable for you. And that means the surgeon knows we're going to print this and I need to put a screw here, the space for the screw is made.
The machines that Stratus has are from Germany and Poland. In time, other machines are to come as the emerging market grows.
And if you can see,
I spoke to Chris, whose startup, Micrive, strives to connect technology with medicine.
3D printing is a manufacturing technique. Technically, it's called additive manufacturing. And what it means is when you write on a pen, you are writing on a 2D plane. But then if you are able to bring the pen up and add the Z-axis, you're now writing in 3D. So a 3D printer does the same, but is automated and therefore very accurate. So it's able to translate digital images, or rather digital 3D files, into their replicas using the X, the Y, and the Z.
Chris is optimistic about the future prospects of 3D printing.
It's only a matter of time. I have only taken it upon myself to break the ice, but I am looking forward to a time where there will be 100 people, not just doing the Peseagioni business, but thinking really critically about what kind of problems we have, asking the right questions. How can we solve these problems? How can we anticipate these problems? And going a step further to solving them.
Thus far, Stratus is using 3D printing for diagnostic purposes, but the technology holds great potential for much more in the medical field. Malika Kazia, KTN News. Well, moving on now, Tropical Brands Africa has announced the launch of a Nutri-Pro family porridge flour. Nutri-Pro will be available in 1 kg packs at a recommended retail price of 250 Kenya shillings. Now, Tropical Brands has fostered a partnership with Africa Improved Foods to ensure sustained quality of grains sourced from across Eastern Africa. This product comes as shifting trends have seen a steady rise in the uptake of traditional wholesome foods by consumers in line with being more health conscious.
Nutri-Pro family porridge. Nutri-Pro is supporting maize farmers across East Africa, is supporting millet farmers across East Africa, and therefore, when you talk about the launch today, it's actually not just Tropical. In fact, Tropical is a small element of the chain. The bigger element is the number of families that whole chain, right up to when the consumer picks it, that the product is supporting.
We were looking for a partner who could come with us on the journey. We're taking Kenya away from this world of poor quality processed food, away from things like aflatoxin contamination, bad fortification, and to provide proper nutritious solutions for the whole family.
Now, in a bid to give back to the community, Tier 2 Lender Family Bank has concluded the refurbishment and equipping of a second classroom block at Sosiani Primary School. It will enable more students living with autism to access specialized learning in a conducive environment. Now, with this second classroom block, the foundation has now invested 1.5 million shillings, making Sosiani Primary School the only school in Rift Valley region that offers a special needs education program for autistic pupils. The investments include purchasing of specialized learning materials.
We have purposed to fund classrooms in public primary schools in Kenya. The reason why we saw this, we decided to do this program was because we noticed that there's a gap. A lot of children with disabilities in Kenya are not going to school. We identified particularly children with autism as needing this service. And so we started a journey in 2016.
If you remember last year, we ran on support for autism. And we are here today to commission a classroom that will be able to help integrate the children that are suffering from autism, and they can be able to manage their lives in the normal way in a setup that is usual. So Family Bank supports this cause in its normal course of business.
We are so grateful to the Family Group Foundation for helping Sosiani Primary School to enable autistic children to learn. Initially, we didn't have these children, but we found need to assist these children. But we didn't have any facility. But when Family Bank came in, we started with 2